it's been a while since I made just a random video, so this is going to be a random video. It is 4 a.m. I don't even know what day of the week it is, January 23rd, 25th, whatever. So, this is what it's like to live in the north. Says a guy wearing a shirt that says Oklahoma. It is negative 22 out, okay? I stopped to get gas. Okay, now I break the rules when I get gas. I leave my vehicle running, and I don't attend the pump. So I go in to the gas station, which up here is a Quick Trip, which is KT Quick Trip, the god of Quick Trips, and the god of gas stations. Sorry, I just had a chorizo burger or burrito, but so I start to fuel up. Okay. I get out in my hoodie. Okay, I'm warm in my hoodie. I get out. I barely get my credit card in, and by the time I walked around the SUV to the other side, the air was so cold it about sucked the entire heat off of my body, and I basically, started freezing to death essentially, right? So I turn the gas pump on. Okay. I go in this gas station, so it's like 50 feet to the gas station, and then it's like 70 feet through this massive gas station to the bathroom, right? Go to the bathroom, wash my hands, come out, diddle-daddle around, grab a drink, go over, grab food, go over, wait for a lady to get up there, check out, talk to her for a minute, right? Walk all the way back. 8 gallons. That is all the pump pumped in that amount of time. Was 8 gallons of gasoline. It is so cold out that the gas pumps pump at like 1/100th of the speed that they pump at when it's warm outside, right? So when it's super cold like this, I rarely ever get my fuel tank completely full because I don't want to sit around and wait for the damn thing to fill up. But for those of you who aren't used to these type of temperatures, because like I'm wearing a hoodie, right? So I joke about, it sucking the life out of me, the cold outside. But I'm also a guy wearing a freaking hoodie and blue jeans and damn tennis shoes. Like, I'm not wearing boots, I'm not wearing nothing, right? So for those of you that are not in cold climates like this, let me put it this way. You see that I have kind of like this beard, goatee thing, whatever going on, right? And you don't know this growing up until you get facial hair, that this is where ice forms, okay? So I can always tell when it's negative out, and everyone else can tell when it's negative out, because when it's negative out, you get out of your vehicle, you walk out of your home, and you breathe through your nose, right? And the inside of your nose freezes. You can literally feel everything freezing as you take a breath. So you're like, okay, it might be cold outside. It might be time to put a hoodie on, right? Now, when we breathe, we have water in our breath because there's humidity. It's cold outside, our body's hot, there's a bunch of science behind it, whatever, I'm not going to bother explaining it. Well, the breath touches our beard, our mustache, it goes through it, and this freezes. This all turns to ice. You see those pictures, how about this? God, I can't even remember his name off the top of my head. But the guy that played the movie Shining, where it shows him like frozen and his beard's got like ice and stuff in it. That's what happens, right? And it's awful because like you take a couple breaths and it's like everything all freezes up. Okay. But here's the other thing, right? So schools, not all schools are closed. Only a few schools are closed. It's negative 22 degrees out, right? It's getting warmer. It's negative 16 now. Okay, so I must have been in a cold spot or whatever, cold area. This area right here, where it's currently negative 16, they have school in the morning. They have to go to school, walk, bus, car. Sorry, I hit a rumble strip apparently. Whatever it takes, they gotta go to school. Up north, we're talking way up north. We're talking by Canada, okay? that part of Wisconsin, a few schools are closing. And it's not entirely because of the cold. It's somewhat because of the cold, but it's because a lot of the schools, they have to bus the kids in so far on top of the cold. So a lot of schools have a 100-mile radius where they bring kids in. And, kids got to wait outside, they got to be on the buses, things like that. And so they're canceling some of those schools. When I went to Mosinee, school was canceled one time. From kindergarten to my senior year, school was canceled one time for the cold, okay? And it was like negative 25 when they canceled. And the only reason they canceled is because they were having issues starting the buses, okay? When I worked at the dairy plant in Amarillo, okay, last winter, down in Texas, right? It was one of the coldest winters that I've ever had in that part of Texas. It got down to -2. -2 is freaking cold. But check this out. It snows every year in Amarillo, Texas. Every year it snows. When it snows, people don't go anywhere. They don't go to work. They don't do anything. It's similar to the rest of the southern part of the United States, except for they're not as much of pansies about it. But the mind-blowing thing is it snows every year, and they still skip out when it snows. It's 32 degrees. There's an inch of snow. They're not going to work. Here, it's negative 20-some degrees, and you got to go stand out at the end of your damn driveway and wait 10, 20, 30 minutes for a school bus to come get you. And that by itself is mind-blowing. And people say, well, you're used to it. Well, you're right. But at the same time, I'm used to it because I lived here, but I go outside in the cold because I have to. I still freeze my ass off out here like everyone else. We're all human beings. You know, the whole climatized thing, that's up here. That's in your head. Cold is cold at the end of the day. But the other messed up thing, right, is so I'm looking around right now, and I've been gone for a few days. It's negative 16 degrees, right? Negative 16, negative 18 degrees. There's only like 3 inches of snow on the ground. The first part of tonight where I noticed that it was cold was in like southern Illinois. It was negative 9 degrees, and they didn't have any snow. Can you imagine being that freaking cold out and there's no snow? Like, at least if it's gonna be cold, you can at least have some snow or something to look at. You know, you look outside and it's nothing but dead and cold. It's like a freaking zombie apocalypse. So, I'm not going to be doing anything other than working the next few days. Because even though I could go to my shop and work, and even if I turn the heater on high, it's going to be like 45 degrees, which is, I mean, significantly warm when it's almost negative 20 outside. But it's not worth it. And it's not good for your vehicle. The cold and extreme heat are awful for your vehicle. So, you know, if you don't need to be out here in this weather with your vehicle, don't be. And if you drive a vehicle like a diesel, you're going to run into a lot of issues if you have emission systems on it, because of the fact that you can't leave it running for extended periods of time because it hurts your emission system, which sucks, because in this type of weather, diesels are honestly, you're better off just leaving the goddamn thing run all the time. So this is my rambling on video about what it's like to live in the north. Just to keep the content up. Everybody have a good day, and I'm assuming the rest of the nation is freezing their ass off right now, just like we are up here. I think it was, when I left Texas this morning, it was only 20 degrees where I was, so, you know, it's 40 degrees colder here right now.